everybody. One heart. Come on, Guam. Come on, Jay.
And feel alright. Okay, and that's a heavy metal guy singing.
Yeah, let's not get together though, guys, because the COVID.
You know what? You know what goes really well with these kind of island vibes? A fresh haircut.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what we call
man.
a segue, a transition.
Yep. Let's bring Dr. Michael
Nice. Well done. I can tell you guys are pros.
Sorry. Yeah. Glad you got to visit the barber since we last talked.
Yeah, I need to make sure I start scheduling these haircuts way in advance.
Nice. Doc, thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Hey, morning, guys. Thanks for having me on.
We just had to throw in that little bit of One Love there. One Love Pediatrics, of course, where you can go get tested for COVID. And is there a charge, Doc?
Oh, okay. So I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
So for the clinics with Abbott's, my clinic included, if a patient is reporting any symptoms or has a true positive contact, there's not going to be a charge. So no insurance, but you need to get tested, and that's the thing. You have a medical need to get tested. There's not going to be a charge. If you have insurance, we'll bill insurance. I just found out that my clinic actually messed up a little bit. We were collecting co-pays, so we'll give those back. That's not a problem. And I think I saw a late article that was forwarded to me with Dr. Nguyen, who's trying to make some clarifications, and he did try to kind of delineate some of the non-medically necessary tests, travel clearances, for example. And so if that's the case, you can imagine, insurance isn't going to cover it. So then I guess that would come out of pocket. Although at our clinic, we don't necessarily charge for the actual test, but we charge for the clinical visit, just being there. So it's similar to if you came in for, a child came in for strep throat, if we do an extra test to get that, well, then you might have on your insurance, it'll say the clinical visit plus the strep test.
Yeah, I think that's what Dr. Wynn said yesterday. He said that if you're going on vacation and you need to get a COVID test, you're going to get charged for that.
Yeah. And then, every once in a while, we don't have a whole ton of these anymore because most of the people coming in are symptomatic. But sometimes we get people who are they just want to know. And we ask them oh, any symptoms? Nope. Any contact? Nope. I just want to know. And we tell them that's probably not going to get covered. And there's a clinical fee. And for them, it seems to be worth it, and they're okay with that. But at least in my clinic, I don't know how, obviously I don't know how everybody else does it, but we try to be very upfront about it so there's no surprises.
Right.
And then, yeah.
What did you make? Were you able to catch the show? Did you catch the public health interview or Dr. Lombard's interview?
I caught the tail end of Dr. Lombard's, and the part where he was mentioning the hospitalizations, typically lag. That's something we've been seeing throughout the course of this pandemic. Yeah. And so, I definitely agree with that. I guess the question that we're all kind of, really need to know is this really going to drop significantly, or are we going to drop a little bit and then pop back up again? Yeah.
What do you think,
one
though,
thing
Doc?
we saw, well, one thing is, on Tuesday's meeting, we were really talking about the need for, getting the better messaging out to the younger demographic. They're not the ones that are necessarily coming in super sick, but they are the ones spreading it. And so we actually had a special guest. It was Kai Akimoto, Dr. Akimoto's son, and he was generous enough to volunteer his time, and he offered to help us set up a social media account that he'll mostly run. With some input, we'll vet the information and everything. So hopefully that'll make some headway with this. Mm-hmm. But I was telling Sabrina the other day when I ran into her, we tested a guy that was positive, and he was saying young guy, late 20s, and he was saying, the previous week we were having a staycation with some friends, and they all ended up getting sick. And I assume they're all in their mid-20s and they weren't wearing masks, and now they're going to all go back home and, put their households at risk. And that's, just multiply that by, 100, 200, 1,000 times, and, that's where we're at.
What about, did you guys meet last night, the PAG?
Yeah, we did. It was, just it was a crazy busy week in terms of stuff happening at GMH and the meetings. And everybody looked just very tired. I mean, I know I'm feeling burnt out. And it was kind of the first meeting where we all just kind of went around and like we're kind of checking in on each other on how we're doing. We did get some pretty exciting news though from Dr. Hancock. He was letting us know and that Regeneron, the monoclonal antibody that President Trump had received, it looks like Guam is going to be getting a shipment of that in hopefully in about a week. And with this, it looks like if you give it to people early in the disease course, within 72 hours of symptom onset, it looks like it can help prevent hospitalization, which would be, such a blessing for us if, we can get a hold of that and really get it out there. The issue though is it is a infusion, right? So it's not just a pill or anything. You basically need to go to a clinic or I don't know. It looks like probably GMH or GRMC will be the one setting it up, and it's like getting a blood transfusion, except it's a monoclonal antibody. So I'm sure there's going to be a good number of people that might have a little bit of trepidation with something like that, since it's a little bit more invasive than just oral medication. But if it comes out and it works, and the study seems to show that it does, I think I saw 1.7% hospitalized versus 6 point something placebo. So, that's a pretty significant, significant advantage with this.
Right. Yeah, I think I heard about it during the Guam Memorial Hospital Board of Trustees meeting earlier this week, where Lillian was saying that the Health and Human Services asked if GMH was interested in Regeneron, and she said yes, of course.
And in addition to that, we have the convalescent plasma that's available, and I think Dr. Elgin was saying they had about 20 units, 20 doses that's available. That one though, the research is still a little bit, it's not as robust as the monoclonal antibody, I don't think, from the last time I checked, which admittedly has been a minute.
We already got the convalescent plasma on Guam?
It should be. I donated some. So it's being held at I think the Naval Blood Bank, and it just needs to be released, I think, to us.
Okay. So the Regeneron, you said a shipment should be here in a week. Do you know like how much?
So the government is paid, like federal government bought it, but of course, if there's an administration, if somebody has to, hire a nurse to place an IV and, make sure people don't have it. So that might have a cost. I don't know what that's going to cost. I just saw on an article this morning, some other places were anticipating about 1,000 for it. And again, that's hopefully, that's going to go to insurance, hopefully they'll come in through that, or, Medicaid, Medicare. But I can, if we have a really person without insurance that needs it, I would hope that we would be able to get it for them.
Okay.
Because ultimately the savings will come down in that, now we have another bed that's open, and you don't have a hospitalization. So.
Right. Anything else from last night?
No, I think that's about it. Yeah, we were just kind of reflecting on the past last night, and I feel like our messaging has been pretty stable over the past few months, and our recommendations haven't really changed all that drastically. And so we were thinking of finally winding down from our twice a week meetings to maybe more as needed basis, or if there's a specific clinical question or a clinical topic that needs to be discussed, then of course we'd be happy to get together. And so I'm kind of looking forward to getting a little bit more of my time back in, and hopefully a little bit more energy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's been a pretty exhausting.
Yeah, everybody's tired.
Months.
Yeah, COVID fatigue, they're calling it.
Have y'all heard any? Have you been monitoring the Department of Defense, the schools? They just started.
I haven't heard anything. I keep looking for any news, but today's their 5th day of school, right? They started on Monday, so I think it's going to be a little bit early for us to hear anything, but I'm sure if something happens, we will.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really, like I said last time, I'm really hopeful, cautiously optimistic that it's going to go really well. So, we can really alleviate a lot of fears in the community about sending kids back. Although, there's always the chance that it might not go okay. So,
Well,
best of luck to them.
yeah. Well, thanks, Dr. And also thanks for the mask that you gave us.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Yeah.
I had to Google how to
My
pronounce.
pleasure, guys.
Yeah, it's microbial or is it microbial?
Microbial is just the bacteria, but microbiome is in your gut. So you
both
want a
are
lot
correct.
of good, healthy microbiome, very few microbials.
Right. Right on. Doc, thank you. Anything else? You good? You good already?
No, I think that's about it. Those were the major changes. The other thing, actually, one thing, not quite PAG related, but from the GMH side, woke up to a bunch of texts, some Facebook screenshots, I guess, of some of the intensivists that came through with the FEMA deployment. And it looked like they had some very positive and really glowing experiences about being on.
Oh, yeah. I saw that too. And we're trying to get that guy on.
So that's some good news. It's nice to hear.
Thank you, Doc.
Thanks, Doc.
There's
All right,
virtual
guys.
shrimp
Have a good
patty
Friday.
if you want to grab some on your way out.
Oh, thanks. I love them.
Yeah, okay, good. Who doesn't? Thank you, Dr. That's Dr. Michael One Love Pediatrics. We got to take a break. We're coming back with Sean Matthew Flores, who's an intern over the district. Corey's kind of share his story with us, and excited about that. And then we've also got our One Micronesia podcast sneak peek brought to you by the Thrive Coalition. That's coming up. Curbside to Crib. We're breaking our fast with some beach and shrimp this morning, so we'll talk to you guys about that. And also, the American Red Cross is doing a virtual. That's how you guys should be doing this virtual concert. What is it, Bree?
Wait, American Red Cross?
Is it? Yeah, I want to say it's a virtual DJ dance party. Oh, American Cancer Society. My bad. As part of Think Pink here, and this is going on tonight, and so we're gonna get DJ Lizea on to talk about this virtual dance party.